That was certainly one of the last things that I expected to happen on the end of Monday Night Raw tonight. Roman Reigns standing in the ring with the Usos the night after he won the World Heavyweight Championship in an incredible main event with CM Punk. Who interrupts Roman Reigns? None other than his little cousin, Jacob Fatu. And boy, there is a lot to talk about with that segment, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight needed to feel fresh. Tonight needed to feel like this was a new season for WWE. I felt it in some ways. In some ways, I didn't. We still have feuds from WrestleMania that are continuing. We saw some new faces, right? Ethan Page is on Monday Night Raw. Sol Ruka is now on Monday Night Raw. And they announced before the main event segment that Joe Hendry, who has a concert next week in Laredo, Texas, he is officially on the Monday Night Raw roster. I will admit, I'm not the biggest Joe Hendry fan at all. As a matter of fact, I don't really like Joe Hendry that much, but Sol Ruka is very good, and Ethan Page is excellent. I'm very excited for his call up. And then we have a new main event world title match: Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. They're gonna have to fucking fix that SmackDown brand because they just lost one of their bigger stars. Seems like Jacob Fatu is gonna be making the jump for the meantime to Monday Night Raw. Um, so I thought this was a great show, and you think about it, and I just thought about it. If Jacob Fatu makes the jump to Monday Night Raw, right? We have Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, and Oba Femi all on the same roster. How badass is that, bro? How badass is that? That is sick. Um, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the main event segment. I thought overall this was a really good show. I thought this was a really good Raw after WrestleMania. Um, there are some things I didn't like on it, and that's fine. But I mean, most of the stuff that happened on this show, like I liked. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't say there was a bad. There wasn't one thing on the show that was like offensive, like it is watching SmackDown. Watching SmackDown, you feel insulted as a wrestling fan. Watching Raw, it could get boring at some points, but you don't feel insulted watching Monday Night Raw. Um, Tonight, I didn't feel insulted in any way. I thought it was a really good show. I thought it was a really good follow up with WrestleMania. So we got a lot to talk about. And I appreciate y'all for joining me here tonight. Before we get into anything WWE related, shout out to the Philadelphia Flyers, man. Up to nothing over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Listen, I'm not the biggest hockey fan. I don't have the best knowledge of hockey. But what I do know is my favorite hockey team is the Philadelphia Flyers. We've waited for this for 16 years. I believe it's like 2010 was the last time they were in the Stanley Cup Finals. 2018 was that when they were last actually in the playoffs. This is a long time coming. And to see them go to Pittsburgh and kick ass for 2 games, man, it's a great feeling. The Xfinity Mobile Arena is going to be rocking on Wednesday night. That is going to be an incredible atmosphere down at the sports complex. So I'm excited for the Flyers. 2 more games to go, and we move on to the next round and get those stinking sorry ass Pittsburgh Penguins out of there. Um, okay, now back to business. If you guys haven't already, we have 2 WrestleMania reviews up on the Big Fed Fuel channel. The absolutely terrible show from Saturday night and the great WrestleMania from last night. So, um, they're both available right now. If you guys haven't already, be sure to go ahead and check those out. Both of them will be up in the last 20 seconds of this video. All you gotta do is click on it and it'll take you right there. But of course, don't do that until you've watched the entirety of this Monday Night Raw review. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. They play a video package. You know how they do every year with WrestleMania. Play the video package, showing you everything that you missed if you didn't watch the show. They plugged that you could go back and watch it on ESPN Unlimited. And the big moments, obviously, Roman Reigns, the Brock Lesnar retirement, which seems legit from the Paul Heyman promo. And then, everything else that happened, they put in there too. So the show opened up with Oba Femi. And once again, he got very super loud Oba chants. They're chanting his name. They're going, Oba, who? Oba, who? That's the chant that the audience is doing now. They were doing that for a very long time. They were chanting shit for like 4 minutes straight. They were chanting, Oba Femi, Oba Femi. And then he finally spoke. And all that he said was, your ruler has arrived. So Oba Femi is the next big thing in the WWE. Very short, very sweet, very simple. It would be a generational fumble if this guy is not the World Heavyweight Champion by the end of this year. We have a plethora of people that could challenge Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going to tell you something. Roman Reigns went on the post WrestleMania show, whatever, and they were chanting Oba Femi at him, and he was like doing the strut and everything. And Roman said, "You better leave room for me because I'm going to be here all summer long." I was on the assumption that I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And then we get what we got tonight. It seems like Roman is going to be here full time. And if that's the case, we could have an amazing run with Roman Reigns as World Heavyweight Champion one more time, at least in his career. This legitimately, and I'm getting ahead of myself with the last segment, but this legitimately could be Roman Reigns' last world title run in his career, considering he was part-time before this. Now he's the champion. He's back to being full-time. And just the names on this roster, he could have an amazing reign. But I'm telling you right now, the guy that he needs to put over when it's time to drop the World Heavyweight Championship, his name is Oba Femi. It would be a generational fumble if Oba Femi is not a world champion in 2026. Don't care that he got called up this year. Don't care that he's barely wrestled on TV. The man beat Brock Lesnar in 5 minutes at WrestleMania. He is now officially a made man. I don't know what they do with him next, but it would be it would feel like a crime if he's not if he's not the world champion in 2026. I'm not saying he's got to be the guy that beats Roman Reigns. He very well could be, but he's got to be a world champion this year. It would just be insane if Obafemi is not the world heavyweight champion. So, we move forward to Rhea and Io against the Kabuki Warriors. I didn't really care about this match. It was fine. It wasn't a terrible match, but I didn't really care about it for two reasons. Number one, Rhea is the SmackDown. She's the women's champion on SmackDown. She's leaving to go to SmackDown for good because since she's the women's champion over there. But I mean, I guess I guess it's because Io gave her a hand in helping Rhea against Jade Cargill, so Rhea wants to give Io a hand in helping her against Asuka and Kairi Sane. And the second reason I didn't care about it is because we've seen it all last year in the fall months and in the first Raw of the year. We saw Io and Rhea versus Asuka and Kairi for the tag team titles. And, this is supposed to be a fresh start for WWE. And this is a match we've seen a lot recently. So, I didn't really care about it that much. It was fine. Io got the win over Kairi because Kairi beat her last week. 50-50 booking. Nobody looks good. And then next, we had CM Punk. And CM Punk comes out, and I don't know if you guys like it or not. I hope this is not the new norm. With Punk coming out to Dark Lights, and then he screams out, "It's clobbering time," and then his entrance music plays. Don't know if I'm a big fan of that. They did it at WrestleMania. Cool. It's supposed to be like a unique entrance kind of thing. I don't need to see it every week. It's just not something that I need to see every week. So Punk, he first addressed the amount of losses he's dealt with since October. He says, "You people," I don't know how to pronounce this word, I'm so sorry, guys. "You people cathartically helped me heal and get through these losses. Being heavyweight champion gave me an anchor and a reason not just slowing down and reduce myself to a puddle of tears every single day, even if I wanted to. And because you guys got me through all those losses, I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to get me through the loss last night. And the reason I'm having a pep in my step and I'm not upset about losing last night is because this was never supposed to happen. CM Punk was never supposed to be heavyweight champion. But you know what happened? I stayed ready. I stayed ready for when my moment came. And you know what happened? Seth Rollins got hurt. I won a number one contender match. I wrestled Jey Uso at Saturday Night Main Event. And I became the World Heavyweight Champion. And I main evented WrestleMania for the second time in my life. And then he was about to leave. He said his mission now is to stay ready because you never know when a championship opportunity is going to come falling from the sky. And then Cody came out. And Cody was sporting a huge purple and black guy. It looked kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It looked kind of disgusting. I won't be watching SmackDown Friday because I'll be watching the NFL draft, but I'm kind of curious to see what Cody's gonna say on Friday. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Um, but they go back and forth, and Cody's talking about how he's shocked by Punk's reaction, and Punk is like, "Did you think I was gonna crash out?" And Cody said, "Knowing you, yes." And he said, "You shouldn't crash out though, because you proved that to these people you're still one of, if not the best in the world, and I'm the one out here sporting this eye. I look like a bum and I look like a loser." And Punk is like, "Are you out here trying to call me a loser? Are you saying I'm a loser after last night?" And Cody's trying to talk back, and Punk's like, "No, no, it's cool. Cody, you did your thing. You took advantage. You won your night at WrestleMania, and you retained the WWE Championship. I lost, so that makes me the loser." And he says, what am I going to do because of it? "I'm going to stay ready, because you never know when a championship opportunity comes falling from the sky." So, they're doing some foreshadowing. That's what this segment was all about, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't about any short-term plans. It wasn't about anything that's going to happen at Backlash or Saturday Night Main Event in May. No, this is way too big of a match for it to happen then. They're foreshadowing this. And this is obviously one of the biggest matches WWE can do right now. There's two matches that stand out. Two of the biggest matches that WWE could do right now is Obafemi versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That is the two biggest matches that the WWE can currently do right now with this roster that they have. And I think at the earliest, this happens at SummerSlam this year. But I don't even think it's going to happen then. At the latest, it happens next year at WrestleMania. And right now, WWE has to have a long-term vision for WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia. And I think right now, this is one of your main events. I don't know if it's happening on night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania in Saudi next year, but I would have to believe this is going to be one of the main events. Now, if Jacob Fatu stays on Monday Night Raw, could CM Punk jump to SmackDown so that we could get Punk and Cody on the same show? It's possible. I'm not ruling it out of the possibility. And just say that. Javon Evans, he went one-on-one with Ethan Page. This brings back memories to their rivalry in NXT last year. Thought it was pretty good. We got a distraction from Rusev on the outside. Javon took him out. Then he had to decide who to go after. He decided to go after Rusev. He came in the ring, and then he came in the ring after taking out Rusev. He went for the OG cutter. Ethan knocked him off the top rope. He hit him with the Ego's Fate, or the Twist of Fate. I don't know what he calls it, but Ethan Page won. And then after the match, Rusev attacked uh, Javon Evans, which then brung out Penta, which then uh, had Rusev attacking Penta. Penta was getting the best of him at first, but then Ethan Page got involved. Rusev was getting the best of him, and Ethan Page just basically hightailed it out of there. So it was fine. It was okay stuff. I feel like a fatal four-way is where we're heading with this because Javon Evans said he's still going after the Intercontinental title. Ethan Page, his first night, he declared he's going after the Intercontinental Championship, and Rusev was draping that title over his shoulder. So it's kind of like last year how WWE did a fatal four-way with the United States Championship with Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. I don't know if this fatal four-way makes the Backlash card. This could maybe be on a Monday Night Raw. But Penta, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship seems to be the way that Triple H is going here. Then we had, let me get to my notes. Liv Morgan was next. So we had a Liv Morgan championship celebration. And I don't know if I said it on my night one review. I probably did, and I just don't remember. So I'm going to say here again. I hate Liv Morgan's new theme music. I hate her new sing-along. It is not good in my opinion. If you guys like it, more power to you, man. I don't. And that's my opinion, and it's final. Liv Morgan Championship Celebration. She thanks the members of the Judgment Day. She thanked her WrestleMania opponent, Stephanie Vaquer, because they brought the brutality out to each other for multiple weeks in a row before their WrestleMania match. And then she also thanked herself because she is going to go on to be the greatest women's champion of all time. And then out came Sol Ruca, who actually put over Liv for how, Sol was saying like how great Liv is, and Liv is an inspiration, how to be a true women's champion. And then Liv is like, thanks, but you were interrupting my TV time, basically saying, get out of my ring, bitch. So Sol got pissed about that. She challenged Liv Morgan to a match. Adam Pearce came out. We got Liv Morgan versus Sol Ruca, and I mean there was some nice things in this match. There really was. So Liv went for the. We're just gonna get to the end, okay? It was a good match. Sol countered the Oblivion with a handstand. She then stood up, super kicked Liv Morgan. She hit the Soul Snatcher. Liv rolled out to the ring. She rolled outside the ring. Sol hit a the Will Ospreay move. Fuck. The Sasuke special. That's what it is. The Sasuke special. She hit the Will Ospreay move. The crowd went crazy. Michael Cole acted like he's never seen that before. Has never seen anything like it. Will Ospreay does it every week. And then she gets absolutely blasted by Zarya with a spear because they're building to their last woman standing match tomorrow night on NXT. She gets thrown into the ring post. She gets blasted with a spear. Zarya throws Liv into the ring. Or not, I'm sorry, she throws Soul into the ring. Liv hits the Oblivion, and Liv gets the win. And then afterwards, Stephanie Vaquer comes out and stares down the new Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Liv Morgan. So it seems like we're going to get a rematch between those two. Probably at Backlash. Hopefully we get a proper match out of them. Hopefully it's not 6 freaking minutes long, which is ridiculous for a WrestleMania world title match. But I liked how we were building the two different things here. I liked how Soul got a big time match in her first match on the call up, wrestling Liv Morgan the night after WrestleMania. They're still building to her match with Zarya. They're still building to another Liv Morgan Stephanie Vaquer match. Doesn't feel fresh. I just hope they actually have them go out there and give them time. That's all I ask for. Give them time. Give them. You double it. You gave them 6-7 minutes. You gave them 6 minutes at WrestleMania. Double it and add it by 3. Give them 15. Give them 15 minutes. Ridiculous that they even got that short of a match. Then we had the Vision. The Vision came out, and Paul Heyman was burying the people on the production team because in the Then Now Forever, you see Brock Lesnar in the Now. And he said CM Punk was putting over the marks and morons in the production truck. And they are a bunch of morons because Brock Lesnar is in the Now part of the video package, which opens up the show. Brock Lesnar is not the Now. Brock Lesnar is the Forever. Heyman says Brock Lesnar is one of the baddest. He basically wanted to say Brock Lesnar is one of the baddest motherfuckers to step in the WWE of all time. We get a thank you Lesnar chant. Heyman says, let's then talk about the Now. The tag team division has now gotten a boost because of Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Yeah, I bet. Sure. Sure they have, Paul. He talks about WrestleMania. He hands the mic over for a special message. A special message from Logan Paul. And the crowd absolutely rained poor Logan Paul down with boos. That if you were in the arena at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, you probably couldn't hear a word Logan Paul was saying. It was that loud. And I didn't even remember what he said. But all I remember was he got rained with boos. Rained with boos. And then Heyman, he brings up Gunther, and he says, me and Gunther are not together, but the man saved me from Seth Rollins, and I owe him a favor. And I just want Gunther to know, whenever you need that, sir, you come talk to me, and we can talk business. And then he says, speaking of Seth Rollins, I'm bringing out the man that came back and ripped Seth Rollins apart, Braun Breaker. So Braun Breaker comes out, and the first thing I think to myself is, I'm not counting Heyman, but I don't like the visual of Braun Breaker being with these two clowns. Being with, excuse me, being with Logan Paul, being with Theory, two dorks, when Braun Breaker is a badass heel. And Breaker gets on the microphone and he says, last year, it brings me memories because I became the leader of the Vision because Seth Rollins was too much of a bitch to take sole possession, that I took it from him. He didn't even realize it, but I took it from him. And a year later, I came back and I ripped him apart at WrestleMania. And, you know, this was a good segment, okay? A good segment. They had a brawl. The Street Profits came back. They brawled with Logan and Theory, which I like that. New feud, a new team. Thank God we're not getting any more Usos in the Vision. That would have been dreadful if the Usos came out. We got the Street Profits. I'm totally down for that. And then Breaker, second straight time, ripped Seth Rollins apart with a spear. Shredded him. Spear twice. And it was a good segment. I just remember from, his career, Seth Rollins getting injured in the middle of a feud, and then him having to leave, and then he comes back, and the feud is not as impactful as it would have been months ago. I just hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case now because Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, that is literally a year in the making. Ever since Braun joined Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, when Seth Rollins was the leader last year, we knew at some point it was going to all break down. I just didn't expect it to all break down as early as they did it. I mean, they did it pretty damn early. Now, the only reason they did it was because Seth Rollins had a shoulder injury from his match with Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. But now he's back, and I just hope this feud has the same excitement as it would have had if it happened 3 months ago. But Braun Breaker's back. I love it. And, again, Braun Breaker versus Seth, that match is a year in the making. So I'm very excited for when that match happens. Finn Balor versus JD McDonough. I don't care. Finn won. He got attacked by Dom, but he got the better of Dom again. And, I don't really care about the feud anymore. They did the angle with the Judgment Day turning on Finn. They did the match at WrestleMania, the Demon, the street fight, all that. It was okay. And the Demon won, and I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for it to be over, man. And then finally, last thing on the night, we had Roman Reigns. He ran into his cousins, Jimmy and Jay. He asked them to come out with him. He told Las Vegas to acknowledge him. He then said, before we get into this championship, the future, and what's next for the OTC, I want to talk family business with you guys while we're out here. And he says, the fact of the matter is, he says, I miss this. I miss being with you guys. I miss being tight. People took us seriously all the time. He said, he was talking to Jey Uso. He's like, your main event, Jey Uso. And we are not below the level of getting buried by washed up rappers. And that shit happens because we were like this. When we were running this business for 4.5 years together, we were like this. We were tight. We were as close as we have ever been. And I miss that. And he says, I'm not asking for you guys to serve me. What I'm asking for, one more time, is for you to stand by my side and let's do this together one more time. So Jimmy stands next to him, throws up the one. Jay doesn't say a word, throws up the one. And I'm like, someone has to come out. And before they did a backstage segment with Gunther and LA Knight, I originally thought the show was going to end with Gunther attacking Roman Reigns because the report came out yesterday from Meltzer that a feud post WrestleMania was going to be Roman Reigns versus Gunther, which, oh my gosh, that would have been awesome. But what we're getting, that's awesome too, because we didn't get Gunther, but we got Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu is a part of the Bloodline Samoan family tree. So he came out, loud Fatu chants, and Roman said, I think you're out here to acknowledge me. And Fatu says, that ain't definitely why I'm not out here, Roman. And then Roman said, okay then. You're probably out here because you want this. And Jacob Fatu said, I don't want that title. I need that title. As a matter of fact, I don't want to call myself the tribal chief, but I need everything that the tribal chief gets. The shoes, the coat, the black coat, the Rolex, the chains, put my kids in a better school. All of that happens with the world title. I want this world championship. I'm coming after you, Roman. And at Backlash, I'm going to get everything that I need, that you have right now. I'm taking it all from the tribal chief, and I'm doing it at Backlash. And Roman said, you know, I do want you to have everything that you have, that I have. I do. But what happens, Jacob? What happens if you can't get the job done? Then you have to acknowledge me. So I know you want this match with me, but I'm going to give you a week to think about it, and then I'll see you at Monday Night Raw next week. So, I thought the whole segment was awesome. For the record, thought it was awesome. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. That is literally printing money. They are literally printing money with Roman Reigns defending the world title against Jacob Fatu. They're going to have to explain Jacob Fatu leaving SmackDown because he's originally a SmackDown a wrestler. But now he's on Raw, presumably. We'll have to find out more about that. But I'll tell you what, man. That's literally my only complaint about this. Is that Jacob Fatu is a SmackDown wrestler and he just walks over and challenges for a Monday Night Raw world title. I need a little bit more explanation out of that. But outside of that, this is awesome. Legitimately. If Roman is full time and he's committed to this world championship reign, and the first challenger we're getting right out of the gate is Jacob Fatu, this could be an excellent reign for Roman Reigns as the World Heavyweight Champion. So that is all I got tonight for your Raw after WrestleMania. Really good show tonight. And I hope they can follow it up next week. That's what you want. You want progress every week. You want to see things get better every week. So let's see how it goes next week. I am about to get out of here. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below, hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Cullen_Joseph. I'm going to have a TikTok video probably tomorrow morning talking about Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. So that'll be tomorrow. And I'll see you guys on here possibly tomorrow, if not Wednesday, for AEW Dynamite. All right, guys. Have a good night, and I'm out of here. Peace.